Hello, everybody. Welcome to Footy Abroad here on your favorite YouTube channels. It is Tuesday, the 27th of May, 2025, and we are here to talk about all things, all the hottest issues and topics from around our favorite sport and our favorite league in the world. And Jake, hey, mate.
What's going on, boys? You're on top, which is interesting after the weekend.
Well, for now, things will change. Unfortunately, we don't have a Swoop Luke for the moment, but he has sent through his regards. A bit of a surprise to the two of you. I'm going to introduce his little segment that he sent through for us shortly. But how are you, Pommy?
You know, always good, mate. Always good. Looking forward to this. It's always nice, eh? One shot. It's not the first time this week that it feels like I'm a few players down. Being a Carlton fan. So, I mean, Swoop obviously invoking his inner Carlton midfield at the minute and choosing to be elsewhere. Good on him.
Yeah. What I guess we'll do is we'll just go around. Jake, you can start. Pommy, you can then talk about the Blues because I'm all blued out. But Jake, the Saints, my lock of the week let me down, mate. What was the story?
Yeah, it was disappointing, mate. Sorry to let you down. And a lot of Saints, all 13,000 that turned up, were very, very let down. But there was parts. There was parts that were an improvement. There was parts that I liked, but there was also a big portion of the game, particularly the first half, that was disappointing. We won the second half. We had our moment in the third quarter to really put pressure on them and potentially overrun them. And we kicked 1-6 in that period, which was probably the game there. You do that, you're not going to win. And it was almost the opposite to the Carlton game where in the Carlton game, we didn't go for it, and that kind of cost us. But in this game, we went for it but didn't capitalize. So we're still not really finding that perfect balance. But Machito was great. Sharman was great. Keeler, in particular, with Caminiti down back, was a big positive for me, supporting Wilkie. Can
I just interrupt you? Keeler. Now, when did he develop that type of dexterity and that
always.
type of...
He's always had it. He's always had it, but he... And the interesting thing is we play him more down back in VFL level anyway, but he's kind of been thrown forward because of the lack of tools for us. So we kind of sacrificed that in this game for the first time really this year to just shore up the defense, and Sharman and Owens were kind of the main tools. I'm kind of hoping that maybe this week Flying Viking gets a debut and he can play forward and Keeler hammer back, which would be really exciting. But that was the main positive for me, seeing that those two really have their best games for the club down back. So we had our chance. Suns are good. More dramas come from the off-field stuff than the on-field. So that's interesting. And maybe we can talk about that a little bit later.
Shortly.
Yeah.
Shortly. Pommy, you want to just quickly touch on the Blues and like their $10 type performance?
I'd rather talk about Isaac Keeler, my boy, to be honest, but we'll talk about the Blues. Much of the same. Repeat the answer to Terry's question the last 8 times he's asked me this, but some good patches, but when it got hard, the Blues do what they do best. They hang themselves, they sit back and surprisingly spend an entire quarter once they've had 50 points, kicked on turnover, kicking it long to a 1-on-4, so GWS could get to 83. So that was nice. Well done, GWS. You're less of a frauds than us. So now we get to join GWS frauds. Cal fraud are now a thing as well. But I suppose to be frauds, you have to be in the mix. We were never really in the mix. So we can just be Carlton there. We were there.
Right.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, sure, mate. What have you got to ask?
I thought it was interesting after the that game and then the Collingwood North game that everyone was talking about the lack of like the injuries or players missing for Collingwood and how North didn't capitalise. And no one that I've seen anywhere has talked about the missing players for the Giants. Surely, like from your perspective, surely that means like that makes the loss worse. I didn't realise until like third quarter. I was like, where's Finn Callahan? Where's Josh Kelly? Where's Daniels?
I don't know what you were watching, but everyone on our end was talking about this was the opportunity to beat them because those guys were out. Yeah.
Maybe Carlton, but I just meant outside noise post game. I didn't hear any of that talk. It's all on Collingwood missing players, not the Giants, which is interesting.
Yep. I'm just gonna go straight to Luke's video. He's posted something he wants us to show, so let's just stand
brilliant.
by for this.
I'm sure this will be great.
What is this? I'm sorry, the old Swoop can't come to Footy Abroad tonight. Why? Because he's dead. No. Please. I'm sorry. Please. No, please.
We are back, baby! The lid is right off. It's coming. We are up. Here's another 2023 Premier shirt. Here's the Premiership jersey. I'll wear this like a fucking cape tonight. How are we going, fellas? How are we absolutely going? The humble Swoop is gone. You called him out. You wanted him gone. The lid is absolutely off. How are we going? I heard you crying about your teams. Oh, we lost to fraud Western Giants. Oh, fraud Kilda. We're Nepo babies. Support a real team, baby. Here we go. Bring on Hawthorn. Bring on Fraud Thorn. It's coming home. We might not ever lose again. We may not ever lose again. That was a lot of energy. I'm shaking.
Oh, it hurts so much.
Look what you made me to take a quote out of Taylor Swift's lyrics. Look what you made me do. Look who you've turned me into. I didn't want to become this. You made me do this. You brought this on. You brought this on yourselves. The lid is fully off now. The lid is absolutely off. Let's have a good show. Who's got the first topic, guys? Who's got the first topic?
It hurts so bad, man.
Oh, far out.
So, Luke, how was your banana peel? How was your banana peel game?
Mine was good. Oh, I should have had a banana. Damn, that would have been funny. No, it was. Hey, I've got all this adrenaline now. I just gotta go. I came in like a fucking steam train. It was a good game. I kept saying it was a banana peel. I know, and we ended up winning by 40-something points. But for those first three quarters, and with the injuries that we had,
he's gone back to humble. He's going back to humble so quick.
I was about to say that 8 goals in a quarter to 1 was a good effort. We just have gears now. Like I'm fully on board that we just had gears in those first 3 quarters. We just didn't kick it. And I think Pom said it in the group chat. We just didn't turn it on because we didn't need to. We just it was just a rope-a-dope game.
I haven't really looked at the top 4 of the ladder because Carlton have been too far down. But how many games have you won already?
9-2. So we've lost 1 to the Giants in the opening game, and then 1 to Geelong. Obviously, the Jack Crisp kick, that 3-point game.
I don't even know if I'll see 9 wins this whole year.
Maybe combined, we might.
Oh no.
We're on 8, aren't we? We're just on 8.
Oh my goodness. It's crazy because like they can't lose and they've still got all the outs. So it's like,
yeah.
What is it? Is it coaching?
belief. I think it's literally just belief. Since Craig McRae sort of, well, that's what I can sort of put down. Like coaching, obviously, as well, and game plan. But I think it helped in like 2022, 23 when we were winning those really close games and you start believing in the system, you start believing that you can do it. And now it's just muscle memory. That if we get there again, we don't have to learn that again. We know that we're allowed, not allowed, we are able to push on, you know. But like this week, we're bringing back Lockie Schultz, Darcy Moore, Pendlebury, Sidebottom, and Bobby Hill against Hawthorn. It's just like I can't remember the last time a team has brought in just a whole raft of stars like that. You know.
Well, mate, hey, there can only be a few teams in the top four, namely four, who feel strong and confident. At every part of the year. So I'm glad you're happy, mate.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for having a little bit of fun.
I'm going to start this week because my topic kind of leans into that, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. Let's do it.
So I've mentioned Two Guys, One Cup, the podcast, right?
Oh, I thought that was something else for a second. Yep.
Benny Parsons before I go on. I think this might be to Luke potentially. Go the Pies, New Zealand, $5. So they actually do in their podcast, they actually do like a little weekly check-in on the fan cams in their podcast. Like they're obviously just following the journey. It's quite cool. Like it's quite humbling and it's very nice that they're so intrigued by it. One of them's a St Kilda supporter, one of them's a Western Bulldog supporter, and what they were talking about today is my topic. So what they were talking about today was how they can relate to Carlton fans. I think he was a St Kilda supporter, and he was saying, like, I can't believe I can relate to what I'm hearing from Carlton fans. And there was a little bit that they played where Riley had come on the fan cams and says, "Oh, we need something," and I said, "Well, we need Jesus. Like we need therapy." And I guess, and they went on to talk about how, you know, Carlton are starting to have to lower their expectations and yada yada yada. And I guess my theme and my topic is: have you ever had to just lower your expectations for your sanity? Because I'm in a really difficult spot with identity as a supporter, because at the start of the year, the rhetoric from club and myself and standards was, you know, top four is the benchmark. And then now it's like, can't wait for like you say it, can't wait for Cody Walker in 2026. We're trading him and I'm just like, all this in 11 rounds. So are Carlton genuinely just like one of the bad teams now? And is that it? Like, are we in that St Kilda Essendon bracket?
Well, we're in different zone. Like we have a different future plan, I suppose, to you at least. Like I think I'm similar to you though. Like I'm almost starting to believe now. Okay, maybe this is a genuine rebuild, and my kind of topic was around that. But you know, I'm kind of having to settle for, okay, maybe we're going to lose more games than I thought. Maybe we're going to finish lower than I thought. But maybe that's kind of what needs to happen. Whereas for you, that's not what needs to happen, you know? So I can kind of like, I've almost been in denial that we're in a rebuild. You're in denial if you're just bad, you know? As brutal as that sounds, but I don't think you're bad. Like personally, I don't think, like, I tipped Carlton on the weekend. I said you would. I thought you would beat the Giants.
So did I.
And I didn't even know they're outs at the time, mind you. I just thought you would beat them anyway. I just think you play a brand of football that isn't the way football is going at the moment. And I think even the Ds you're finding are shifting their gears and playing a different brand. And they were the one that I kind of had closest to the style of football that Carlton play. Like even their profile of their list. But now they're starting to run and actually play kids that can run on the outside, and they don't rely on two twin towers. And like I couldn't believe the stat I heard before that Carlton are the least efficient team going inside 50 in the comp. And I'm like, how can that possibly be with 2 Coleman medalists? Like, how? You know, that just baffles me. I just don't know what the solution is, really. Everyone's saying you need more outside pace, but is that really it? Is that it? You just need more pace? Because that feels like something we've talked about for 5 years.
There's this identity thing in generations. So my generation, we've only seen losing. The generation before me and then before that, it's identifying with the club that is so connected to winning. And so there's just this big gaping hole that grows as we go further and further into the future, to the point now where I am so confused as to what is the club. I know what it was, but I don't know what it is. Does
it amplify because of how well Collingwood's doing too? Does that affect it in any way, shape or form in a fan's psyche when your biggest rivals are the benchmark?
No. I mean, for me, it's purely just Carlton. Like, I'm just focusing on Carlton. Like, I use Collingwood as a bit of a benchmark as to how to get your club connected. And that, I mean, you look at them as what they've been able to do, and they've had turmoil, but then they've, connected as a club and a fan base and a team and all that. So yeah, I'm in a whirlwind at the moment.
I saw you post today, and I'll answer the question in a second. But I saw you post today about that roadmap that they released a few years ago. And I know it's happened so many times, and it kind of happened to us back in 2021, which is when I was questioning my sanity back then as well. When Graham Wright comes in, what does that change? Was it Kara that was saying today that he might be coming in July as opposed to the end of the year sort of stuff? Does that change anything for you guys?
Well, if anything, I mean, Brian Cook came in and then he released that strategy. And then so now Graham Wright's going to come in as CEO, and I can only assume he's going to have the next 5-year strategy. I'm very mindful of us getting into a lot of the Carlton supporter rhetoric is, just wait for Graham Wright. He's the guy that is going to come and just chop it all up, and he's not afraid to make change, and he's done such great things at Collingwood. Pretty much the same thing we heard about Brian Cook. Wait till he comes. He's been at Geelong, been at West Coast, successful.
Yeah. Yep.
So I just don't know, dude.
Yeah, but like, look, in saying that, back in 2021, so one kick off a flag in 18, preliminary final in 19, a bad year in 2020. Then 2021 was when Graham Wright came in, and I remember going through that. And that was the last Eddie year as well. Going through that and all the huff around that, around Buckley, whether he stays or goes, where we're down the bottom of the ladder, and it wasn't so much questioning sanity; it was just questioning the direction of the club. And I remember thinking at the time, like, sometimes you need to cut off, bits of dead plant for the new plant to sort of grow. And once Buckley left, or once Eddie Maguire left as well, as much as they were Collingwood people through and through, and they made the club into sort of what it is and gave us those foundations. But when Graham Wright and his team swept through that, you could see that already there was like a huge weight off our shoulders, and that was only rounds. He left after a Melbourne game, and then Banger Harvey came in for a few. It was like it was towards the end of the year anyway. But what we were able to do was start searching for a coach halfway through the season. So it gave us hope. It wasn't just, what are we going to look like in the preseason? We're going to have some assistant coaches taking us through preseason. It's going to be rushed. We really took our time, and I think that was around the time that Carlton were looking at Voss as well, and maybe the Giants with Kingsley. So yeah, it was just there was a time in 2021 where you go, what the hell is happening with this club? And thankfully we made all the right decisions. But I think that's why Graham Wright, as much as I love watching Princess Park burn down, it can feed Collingwood for generations. But Graham Wright, that's what he does. That's what he look what he did with Collingwood in 2021. He said that we were a few years away from a flag, and literally in a few years we won a flag. So if anyone's going to do it, it's Graham Wright. I think it's someone. I think it was Ethnic in the chat
it's about getting the soul back. And we lost our soul for a couple of years, and we got it back. It's literally about getting the soul back into any football club.
Pommy, how did you deal with Manchester United, for example, with that identity of being serial winners and whatnot, and then having to accept that you're just not that anymore? Like, is that a similar situation?
I don't accept it though. Like, I
Right.
don't. The standard remains in my heart. The standard remains. I get frustrated and angry because I know it's so far away from what I grew up with as a kid. But also, I'm not stupid. I don't believe in, like, Man United have gone through a very similar cycle as Carlton, where the fan is, where the coach is incompetent, but then everyone goes, don't sack them. We can't keep sacking coaches. Pep's been at Man City for 10 years. And I'm there going, we nearly sacked Fergie. If he didn't win in the cup, he was gone. And he got lucky and won. And his longevity was off the back of winning at the right time and showing the signs we turned the corner. So I look at it this way. You've got to get the fucking decision right. Like, we can keep sacking coaches. I am more than happy to sack the coach every 6 months, as long as the process is correct. And it's obvious the people in charge are inept at picking the right thing. And Man United are like Carlton. The amount of times Man United have appointed a coach that we've heard the independent commission wasn't 100% sold on, but they went for an easier name or an easier value, or then they've gone for a big name like Jose Mourinho, who the independent and all the media said wrong person. If you want to rebuild, he's going to get you to a level, but he ain't really about playing the youth, which is what Man United had told its supporters and its sponsors, that they were going to use Carrington Road to bring the players in. And then you look at Carlton, like, how do I cope with it? Well, like, there's a famous clip going round after round 4 where I said, you've got to sack him now. And you just got to look at the data. 18 for scoring efficiency, 18 for shots per inside 50. The scariest stat, 14th in the league for marks inside 50, when you've got 2 guys that are evidently the greatest of all time. 3rd for inside 50s generated, 3rd for inside 50 differential. All these stats tell you one screaming problem, that your system is cooked, and it doesn't matter if you say Nick Newman, and that's it. And Man United and Carlton are the same club in the fact they militarise the fan base to protect the brand, as opposed to the people in charge protect the brand. They protect the name. Priestley doesn't want people coming after him. And look at the state of Priestley, all due respect. His mum still folds his clothes for him. He isn't a leader of men. And you look at the way Carlton speak, that's not a professional football franchise. And the facts are, we've always been like this. We can't go back to the Malthouse days. We can't sack a coach. We want to bring Elliott back. The same with United. You can't go back and be the biggest spending club in England because we haven't got the financial firepower. We've got to find a new way of doing it. And that is by clear communication. And I share your frustration, Terry, but I've seen this movie before. They probably will sack Voss. Graham Wright will probably tell us that he's going to do what he can to reset us. But does Graham Wright have the backing, is my question. Does he have the backing? Because I know how this will go. If it goes wrong, he's a Collingwood snake who's come to destroy the club. It's easy PR by the board. Yeah. It's easy PR by the board. They've done it before when Malthouse called out the crooks upstairs. They quickly twisted it and said he was a Collingwood snake. I've seen it, Terry. I've seen it. I can see in 3 years' time, it's slightly going wrong, the pressure coming on, and where a strong club would say, Graham Wright's plan, long haul, eat your shit sandwich, they'll just get rid of Graham Wright and go, he was wrong. He was a Collingwood grass. Who wants him? Hawthorn, Battle of Britain, Collingwood, scum. And then they'll just carry on the way. But the truth be told, I want clear messaging. I would accept right now God's honest truth on my life, on my kid's life. If the club came out and said it's going to get worse before it gets better. We're going to make some strict decisions. This list will be blown apart. We will bring in a new coach with a clear plan. And honestly, Pommy, you won't play football in the finals for 3 years. I would be like, okay, you stick to that plan for 3 years. I'm in. I'm with you. But they won't, because they'll dangle the finals carrot, won't they, Terry? They'll dangle 17, and it'll get hard for 12 months. And then we will start going, how can we keep losing? Oh, quick, make the game plan more attacking. Make it harder to score against. Do something. $5 memberships. Buy one, get one free memberships. They'll panic. And that is the problem with us. We want it tomorrow with no fucking plan, all because Elliot won some flags. And that's what shits me. Man United and Carlton, the same club, full of arrogance, full of baloney, up their own fucking arse, think they deserve it just by being born into it. When the truth be told, blood, sweat, and tears wins your fucking flags, wins your titles, and you've got to do it hard. You can't just buy it. So until the club loses its fucking ego, Terry, we're going to be doing this show for the next 50 years, mate. Oh, Terry, we're coming. Oh, shit, we're not. I know it's going to happen, and I'm happy with that because I do it for the people. I don't do it for this stinking football club.
I think so. If I can just interject just really quickly, that was one. Incredible. That what you said, Pom, was incredible. And if anyone on the Carlton board had as much passion as both of you guys do, you'd fucking win a flag in the next 6 months. You know. I do want to mention a comment that I've just got highlighted here by Dars19. When you said talking about blowing up the list and stuff, and that's exactly what Collingwood did. That's what Graham Wright came in. We made hard decisions, Grundy, Treloar, and we were paying them elsewhere. But the fans, they told us, they literally said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. We might not play finals. We might not do this. We have that salary cap. We need to get rid of them. You're going to hate us for a little bit, but it's going to help in the future.
How did they do it? How did they release a statement with saying that?
I don't know if it was a statement. It was that I'll have to look back, and maybe someone in the comments can see. I don't think it was so much of a statement as it was actions and just what Graham Wright was saying through interviews and stuff like that. But it wasn't a proper statement that came out and said worse before it gets better. But and maybe it was just implied as well when we had to cut those players. Is that something that Carlton would be willing to do? And you talk about the arrogance of the club and sort of stuff like that. Did the supporters need to take the foot off the gas as well and stop eating what the club is feeding them in a way?
Oh, I don't know if we are as much. I'm watching it. I'm watching it turn.
Yeah, you'd have a better
quickly. I'm watching it turn quickly, and the one thing we do as supporters is we talk a lot about the problems, and I'm guilty of this too. I mean, we might need to act for real as a collective. And
what do you mean? Not turn up, not go to games,
not turn up, do something with the board, force the change with our collective efforts. Because right now it's just like screaming into a camera with a microphone, and that's about it. It doesn't matter. They don't watch it. They get briefed from, I don't know, whoever else is in there. They'll have some little soldier watching the content, and they'll write a report, and it'll go upstairs.
Yeah. That's the soul. That's the soul that needs to come back to the club.
I remember 2021. It was just after the trade period that you got rid of Treloar and stuff like that. I remember Cal Toomey doing a video, because I did a counter video where he described it as disastrous. That you'd blown the list up. And Ned Guy at the time, who was announced that he was taking over from Wright, and Wright was going into a different role. Ned Guy said that there was salary cap pressures. They had found themselves in a bind. And although it was they understand the fierce reaction from disgruntled supporters from the trade period that ended this Thursday, we realised fan favourites Treloar and Stevenson in particular hit hard. He then went, to be blunt, we find ourselves in a bind. We were limited with our restrictions, with our access to free agency, and our salary cap being incredibly limited. We have quality players wanting to come to this club, but simply we can't pursue an interest due to limitations. This couldn't continue. And frankly, if you think it's bad now, it would ultimately get worse. What we have managed to do this trade period is bring in 2 first-round picks, 14, 16, have actively regenerated our plan for looking at 3 agency talents next year. And we believe that this is a plan that will bear fruit 3 to 5 years from now with very good contract management and allow us to constantly top up our list using the free agency and the draft as originally planned before we fell short of our plan.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's exactly right. That's that transparency, you know? And I remember
doing a video.
Yeah.
It was one of my most popular draft videos of saying I thought it was genius.
Yeah.
And
but I remember at the time the huff
Hmm.
from Collingwood supporters, and now looking back at it, or even not even now looking back at it, looking back on it the next year at this 12 months later, it was just needed because then we bring in Lipinski, McStay, Hill, all these players that Kruger, all these players that we couldn't have brought in. And I think Carlton are in the same spot with their salary cap, maybe is what I think I've read that a couple of times. I don't know what St Kilda's sort of deal is like with their salary cap, but yeah,
plenty of space.
You couldn't fill up our cup anymore. You could not fill up our cup anymore. You know.
We've got no salary cap, mate. It's empty.
The classic Nepo baby shit.
Right. Well, yeah, that's great. Thanks for that, lads. Good stuff.
I can go. Yeah, I can go. Oh, you want to, Jake? You can go, Jake, if you want.
I've got a light. Is yours a heavy one or a light one?
No. Mine's light.
Heavy. He's
Heavy rain.
Yeah, just
I'll go to break it up. This will be short and sharp. It's the classic. Who would you rather be, boys? It's been a few weeks. I haven't done one. There's a bit more football that's been played. There's a bit more substance, you know. So I thought, let's bring it back and let's. I've got 2 sets. All right, if you can indulge me, okay. I think these two. Hey, not everything's about. There's not everything. Not everything is about the blue baggers. All right, become relevant and then maybe. But
there it is. There it is.
Okay, so who would you rather? Set 1. The Richmond Football Club or Port Adelaide?
Richmond. Wait, what did you to like coach or to support?
Yeah, just to say to coach or to be involved with in the next 5 years. One, Richmond, I thought it was an interesting contrast. Richmond, they're near the bottom, but they're very transparent, exactly like we've just talked about.
Yeah.
They know where they're at. They've hit the draft. They've gotten rid of players. They're doing everything that Collingwood pretty much did 4 years ago. And then Port, the classic case of sacking a coach, but he's still there and players not playing for them and being down the bottom now and still having some A-grade talent that, you know, may not fulfill their destiny of winning a flag in South Australia. So who would you rather be?
Richmond, 100%. 100%. Like, who knows what Josh Carr is going to do for Port Adelaide next season? Like, you know, we've talked about this numerous times where Hinkley should have gone at the start of the season, kind of like what Longmire did at Sydney. Left and, you know, Dean Cox, you know, it's not really working out at the moment, but it will. Because now Josh Carr is just stuck in this purgatory of, is this my team? Is this not my team? How much control do I have? Koshy is still saying that, you know, Hinkley is still a man. They're not going to get rid of him. But sometimes you've got to pull the pin. And Richmond, for, you know, obviously still being down at the bottom, their kids are they're exciting to watch. They might lose, but they're an exciting team to watch. And I was just talking about soul. They've never lost their soul. From those premierships, they've still, maybe not the aura, but they've still got the Tiger soul in them, and it's just fun to watch and see grow.
100%. Yeah. Pom?
2000% Richmond, like young list, big brand name, big club. Exciting coach, exciting style of play. It's better the devil you know, isn't it? And plus, I'm a closet Adelaide fanboy, so I wouldn't choose that. Some part of Adelaide.
I'm with you. I'm
So-
Richmond, but I do think Port can have a randomly good year sooner rather than later. Like it can turn quickly with a list like theirs.
Yeah. That's why I thought it was an interesting one because they're down the bottom, but their list is still good enough that if Carr can sort it out in years to come, they can easily snatch a flag.
Wow,
Pierce just got
Alex
3.
Pierce got
He's
off.
3. Oh, what? Off? I didn't even see that part. Jesus.
Is this real or is this like a troll?
Yeah, can someone confirm that?
Yeah, it's free to play this weekend. 7 just posted about it.
How did they overturn a 3?
Hell, oh man, this is
Mate.
we could talk about this for so long because Paul Curtis couldn't even overturn that tackle, and Pierce went straight. But I don't know, bro. And then the
Who he
John
bumped
Newcombe-
was concussed. Yeah, who we got was concussed in the end, right?
Oh, was he?
I'm not sure.
he
I'm
would've
asking.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
It was Darcy Byrne-Jones.
Yeah, but
That
did
he
he get concussion?
I
I don't think he did.
There we go. There it is.
It was groggy. I thought he did.
Result.
Pretty big hit.
Oh, I'm just curious if it was. Yeah, if he.
There was
if he's gonna miss.
concussion was caused in the incident. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Interesting.
How can you go straight to 3 and then go to 0? That's astounding.
With a concussion.
I can read
With
the
a
ruling.
concussion. Yeah, I'd love
read
to hear it.
Read the ruling.
Dockers pled not guilty, arguing at all times the player acted reasonably. In front of the tribunal chair, Jeff Gleeson, with David Neitz and Darren Gaspar, the AFL argued Pearce's conduct was unreasonable in the circumstances under the general rough conduct prohibition. Port Adelaide's medical report found Byrne-Jones was concussed and is expected to miss 3 days of training and 1 match, even with the club having a bye. That's all I've got.
That's it. That's their argument, and they got that off. Wow.
I think there's more to come. It must have just happened. So I would.
Okay.
I dare say there's. Maybe I should check on Zeta.
Yeah.
David Zeta. David Zeta. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, no, he hasn't posted about it yet. As in like the spiel that he usually does.
Okay.
We'll get there later.
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so-
wild. That's wild.
Yeah. So resounding on Tigers, and we'll go part 2. The Nepo babies or the GWS Giants? We'd go the two handout teams.
Oh, that one's a good one.
The 2 teams that are just gonna, be around the mark for the next 50 years.
Probably the Suns.
You go the Suns?
I think so. I like the Suns. I like what I see. I like Sam Flanders. Yeah.
Oh, Ned. Oh man, I don't know. Like the Giants have got such a good list, but the Suns such a good list to compete now. But the Suns have got that longevity list to compete for years and years to come. Oof, you'd have to go Suns. I'd go Suns as well. Pom?
Yeah, Suns, man. Suns. Like that list would be a dream to coach, wouldn't it? Because it's just pure modern day football.
Yeah.
True.
Pure.
Yeah.
Like attacking, it's good. It's good defensively, which is probably GWS's weakness. It's a joy to watch them play football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you stand by Ross Lyon's Nepo baby comments, Jake? As a fan, do you like to hear that? You like a little bit of fire pre-game from the coach?
I mean, it's an interesting one, right? Because it's like, is the timing right? I feel like if we were top of the ladder and winning, and he did that pre-game and we went on to win that game, everyone's like, yeah, he's spot on. It's so true. Like, but because we're near the bottom and Bassett has done what he's done, Ross has said things throughout the year anyway about other clubs, and we went on to lose the game. I think that's where people are taking it. Like, hey, like what Dimmer said, worry about your own backyard. Of course we're worrying about our own backyard, but our own backyard is very much affected by the inconsistencies and these sort of concessions with other clubs. And I think a lot of football clubs should be supporting what he's saying, because at some point it may affect their club. It probably hasn't, and that's why people are just happy to mock us. But I don't mind it. I thought Dimmer. I think the reaction from even the Gold Coast, I think in the last 24, 48 hours has been kind of childish in a way. Just having their GM or whoever on the radio complaining, and then the way Dimmer reacted, and then even, who was it, Collins, come out and say, "Oh, last time I listened to Ross Lyon's opinion was when he delisted me." And it's like, yeah, he probably told you, pull your head in, and he probably gave you some really nice advice, but you thought you'd be an idiot on TV today to add to the whole fiasco. I find it hilarious how people have blown it out of proportion. When you actually watch how Ross said it, it was just in passing as a joke, and Dimmer just hears the statement. He doesn't hear the way Ross said it. And I mean, is he wrong? Is he wrong?
No, I don't think he's wrong, but
I mean, they got Noah Anderson for nothing, right?
Yeah.
They're going to get potentially 3 top 10s this year, NGA. Wait until they're an absolute power. Like, people are like, oh, he's only complaining because now the Suns are going to be good. But we've seen this coming because of the process. Every year they're topping up. They're getting these players. They're paying Geelong to take Jack Bowes or whatever and pick 7, like throwing that away for nothing. Like, I don't know.
Also been 15 years without finals, though. This will be their first time playing finals.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about the thing. Like, that's almost irrelevant because they're still getting these picks. They're still getting them, right?
Yeah.
They're still getting their concessions. Obviously, we get money pumped in because we're in debt, but the AFL puts money to a lot of clubs, right? The top 2 are the Suns and the Giants. Yeah, and that will be the case. And then Tassie.
And then Tassie as well, yeah.
And then that precedent. So, like, that's the thing too, is like people don't understand that it's not just now, it's also the future for all clubs outside of Tassie, Gold Coast, Giants, Sydney. So I thought it was right. I thought timing was a bit odd, but we lost and no one's talked about that. And it could be this perfect deflection, but also raising an interesting point.
Do you guys think it's a deflection with the Saints? This was supposed to be their year that they're sort of climbing up there, and they haven't.
Who said we were supposed to climb though? Honestly,
I'm not talking premierships. I'm just talking an improvement.
I didn't say. Look at Terry. Yeah. He thinks. Like, I think he said something that's true, and I think people don't like hearing it. That's pretty much my.
Well, you know what? To be fair, it does continue on this thing that we've seen from the Saints in general from the start of the season, which is, hey, we are going to talk out about how we feel.
100%. And they backed it up. Carl Delina said it on the radio, our CEO, and he said, this is just the start. He said, we've got plenty more.
Well, isn't there a president function coming up as well? I think it's pretty soon.
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I think there's one coming up soon. But again, that's, transparency in its own different way from St Kilda.
I mean, like that's and we talk about soul, and this is not soul, obviously, but this is being consistent with the messaging that the club has delivered to the Saints fans for the last 2 years, is we're not going to stand for this bullshit. And it might come across as complaining, but no one's ever done it, and we're going to try. And I'm like, you know what? Shake a tree, see what falls. I'm all for it. I think it's just compounded with the fact that we lost to them, and I mean, we only lost by 19 points and had more scoring shots. It's not like they toyed with us on the weekend. We're different sort of levels of development at the moment. So if people disagree with it, I think they just disagree with it because they don't know anything about it and they just don't like Ross. Like, honestly, I think that's where it is. Because all the comments you read online is just, look at this guy's complaining, Ross the toss. There's no backing. There's no like actual argument towards what he said. It's just dumb shit.
I won't lie. I was watching it the pre-game before the game started, and I had tipped the St Kilda Footy Club. That was my lock of the week. And just for the sake of transparency, I heard Ross's comments and I changed my tip to Gold Coast in the moment. Promise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they would have heard it pre-game?
Nah.
Probably not. It just spoke to me a little bit. I don't know. And maybe it was just a coincidence, but I also did it when North had a cry about something. Remember we were watching who they played? They just lost to Essendon, but it was the week after they had
Oh,
something
about Kane
controversial.
Corns in the rooms.
Yeah, something like that.
That
I'm
was
like,
that
I'm
was
not-
way more. That was way more petty. That was so
of
childish
course.
from them.
No, but no,
That's
the
completely
principle
different.
Of, the principle of having a bit of a dig at anything other than like the game. Anyway, whatever. That's what I did, and it probably was just a coincidence. And the Suns were always winning the game. Whatever, but I did change my tip when I heard that.
Yes, like Sarah Jones is asking Ross, "What do you think of the Suns? Have they surprised you this year?" And that's when he said it. It's like, well, they're not surprising anyone because they're getting all these good players. They got a good coach. They got a lot of funding. Of course, like this is the minimum of what they should be
I
doing.
know. But
You know, like
before the
it's not a
game,
shock that
like,
they're good. You know,
of
yeah, I
course,
thought
but
like
you know,
yeah,
before the game, like I mean, if it was on a talk show on a Tuesday night, Agenda Setters or something like that, and he's a guest on the panel, like
I think
do
that's-
get it.
Mm.
You
I
know?
think maybe that's why it's been blown out a little bit is because it was kind of off the cuff
In-game.
pre-game.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, and like even the Gold Coast Suns posted, like they did a social media post about the quote that what their GM or CEO said on the radio, like you know, GM whatever his name is takes a stand on these comments. I'm like, takes a stand? Like, is that legitimately the phrasing clubs are going with? Takes a stand on a just off the cuff comment that someone said that's true about your club, and then Dimmer's like, oh, I've been at Richmond, you know, it's tough. I'm like, yeah, it must be tough getting $2 million a year and 100,000 members and MCG and Punt Road Training Centre and the best player in the game. Must be real tough, Dimmer. But anyway, we digress.
We digress. Jake, thank you very much. Luke.
Cool. So I want to do sort of like an F marry kill in a way where you would give me your most improved player of the year, a player you would keep around just for like morale's sake, and a player you would get rid of, like let's just say mid-season trading is in, like it's mid-season right now. Let's say your most improved player you're going to keep around just for morale, and player you would get rid of during the
In the AFL or just in our team?
Oh, sorry, in your team. Sorry, in your team.
Oh,
in
in
your
our
team.
team. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I be allocated another team?
Oh, yeah. You can go Adelaide if you want. Would you want to go Adelaide?
Okay. That makes me happy. Okay.
Yeah, I know,
Otherwise,
I
it's
know.
going to be Carlton twice.
Yeah. I can start if you want. What you guys think?
Yeah.
So most improved for me, obviously, you know, Ned Long is almost an A grader at the Pies. Like I don't think it's and I don't think it's insane to say that at 22 years old, what he's been able to do from getting delisted at Hawthorn, coming through the ranks at VFL level, getting picked up mid-season as well. I think he's just, you know, it's just incredible. Incredible what he's doing. He's probably got to pick up his first 3 votes in the Brownlow during last week's game against the Roos. So he would be my most improved, but that's just like a given, Ned Long. If I didn't have to pick Ned Long, I would say my most improved would probably be, this might be a bit of a weird one, but I think I'd say Billy Frampton as well as a left field option, Billy Frampton. Because I think he, at the last 3 weeks, to keep some of the best forwards to pretty much no goals, like Thilthorpe didn't kick any. I think Larkey might have kicked 1. I can't remember who he played, but he's just come from the clouds these last 8 or 9 games. Keeping for morale, and who might not get a game, but keeping him for morale is Oleg Markov. Absolutely love what he does to whenever he plays. I'm sure you guys saw the celebration, but from all you hear from the players, just an absolute guy to have in your club rooms that are just, even if you're losing and stuff, he's trying to cheer up everyone there. And if I had to trade someone, this is a big call. I would trade Jordan De Goey. I would.
Really?
Yeah. Not because I don't like him. I absolutely love him. I just think just still can't get his body right, and I want him to come good. Maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. If we could get, I'm not going to sit here and go, if we could get a top 5 draft pick for Jordan De Goey, if we get an early second round or a late first round and a player, I just think he's probably one that we could easily find. Ned Long's sort of doing that job in the middle that he was trying to do, and in the forward line, we've got a Charlie West or a Will Hayes or someone else that can come in. So I think his access to our needs, at the moment, would be my 3.
Oh yeah, Ned Long. I learned the hard way. Wait. Just so we're clear, even in the Collingwood side of things, you didn't expect to see this from Ned Long preseason, or was this the one that you're like, he's ready for?
Oh, no.
Like, this was a surprise to Collingwood supporters too, right?
Yeah. He was probably always going to be that guy that probably was like he was a sub for the first few games, and then who would come on, but not come on as hard as he fucking has now. Who's got, he attended more centre bounces last week than Nick Dacos did. So yeah.
Wow. Jake, you can go next.
Tricky one. It's easier when you're winning, right? There's so many players that have improved. So on our case, it's probably a couple, but I'm going to save the third one for the vibe. That was the third one, right?
Yeah. So
who you want to keep
vibe,
around?
get rid of, and most improved. Yep.
Yeah, so vibe is an easy one for me. It's just Jack Higgins because he's always up and about. He's a really nice guy. I've met him a few times. He's the exact same that you see on the field as off the field. Great personality, and he's just a good footballer. He doesn't need to be the smartest bloke in the room, but he's just good for the club. And every club needs that sort of player that just loves playing footy and kicking goals and just at that basic level. And he could have been the most improved, honestly. He could have been both, but I'm going to give him that one. Most improved. I mean, you're going to probably see this as incredibly predictable, but I just think Naz is the most improved by a long shot. It's probably a linear improvement. People probably saw this coming, but he's still the most improved.
Yeah.
He's one of the most improved in the league, in the team. I think he's one of the most damaging ball users in the comp, and he's only 21 or something, and obviously linked to a lot of clubs. A huge game on the weekend. Is he in your All-Australian half-back line at the moment? Or
Naz?
to you guys? Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe.
I haven't really sat down and looked at it, but
Pom?
I haven't thought about it.
Sorry, you cut out. What was the question?
I said, would he be in your All-Australian half-back position at the moment? Or would he be in the squad? No, Naz. Oh, you'd have Sinks over Naz.
Oh, Naz. Sorry.
Yeah,
Naz. He'd be up there, wouldn't he? He'd be one of the names, but that's that position that they'll hang it at to someone really sexy who plays mid-time but happens to sometimes go half-back.
True.
But he would be a dream play. I would say Naz, if he didn't say South Australia, if he requests a trade, I'd say he'd be one of them players that has 17 contracts plus St Kilda.
Yeah. No, he's been amazing. Plenty of improvement still to come, and he might even go into the midfield more and be even more damaging there. And D-list, was it, or trade? Or it doesn't matter really?
It doesn't
matter. D-list, it's probably a player that hasn't played yet, so I'm not going to go for that. So trade will be more interesting. I don't know if I would want this to happen, but I could see this happening. I could see us trading Rowan Marshall. I could see that happening. I can see us looking at potentially getting TDK, Rowe not wanting to be the number one, not wanting to play forward. And if we want to nail free agency, but also get draft collateral to use, and looking at our best players who you'd be willing to get rid of and you could be sure to get something back in return. It's not going to be Jack Steele. You're not trading your captain. It's not going to be Jack Sinclair. It's not going to be Cal Wilkie. It's not going to be any of these blokes. The next tier is a position that we're getting a player in, potentially. And if we could trade, I think the Giants are supposedly looking at potentially looking at Marshall. I don't know if you can snag if he's worth a first-round pick or late first at this point in time. But if that were the case, knowing you're getting a ruck in his prime, maybe you look at it. It's kind of been the theme of tonight, looking at these, these decisions that maybe you don't want to do, but maybe are necessary.
Better for the club. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because if you get King, you get the Viking playing forward, Caminiti, Keeler back, TDK in the ruck, and then you've got Boyd, Max Heath. Keeler can play ruck as well. And obviously Dodson that we drafted this year, like that's a lot of rucks on our list. And Rowe doesn't want to take a pay cut. Like he's probably on good coin already. I could see us indulging that.
Interesting.
Would you do that, Pom? As a trade expert, draft expert? Would that be something that you'd be like, oh, that's fair? Or would you think that's crazy?
Well, I suppose it depends if you could get all them in, but I agree with you. I do think Marshall is gettable if you bring TDK in, but I would question why. Because this draft isn't really, outside of the top 10, it's not deep, and they're very similar type players. So I'd say if you are... I look at Saints, and it's why I found the Nepo baby comment very funny, because it struck me as Sauce had talked to Ross, because that is a man that you're crying out for midfielders, and he's picking a fight with the AFL in a rule we've all agreed to, which we've all agreed with the Northern Academies. And I think there's a stat out of the 38 players they've drafted, only 2 have played 50 games or more. So their academy has only borne fruit recently. But I worry about St Kilda. I genuinely do, because I don't think TDK is the answer. And that's not because I want to keep him. And
I don't think we were expecting him to be the answer. I know the amount.
I know you've got to meet the minimum requirement of cap, but I would be throwing that money at Butters, making him an offer he can't refuse, and making my team better for now, because I don't think Rowan Marshall's that bad. And I don't think the difference between TDK and Marshall is that if it was Riley O'Brien, I'd say, okay, you want to go a modern day way. But is there a massive difference between Marshall and TDK?
I mean, if we're just talking this year, yes, it's by a long way. Marshall this is the first year where he'll have a really, really good game and he looks like his old self. And then he has 2 games where I'm genuinely like, your body doesn't look right. You do not look like you should be out on the football field. And that was the weekend. Wits towelled him up. And I'm worried about him coming up against Gawn. Whereas other years, I'm like, he'll be up for it. Whereas I'm worried. TDK, like Marshall's pushing 29-30 now. I don't know if his body's just... It's just one of those things. Like, is there something internally the club know that we don't as fans? Is he not 100%? Will he never be 100% again? He had his injury issues over the preseason. And obviously Tom de Koning's played every game pretty much and he's looking very good. So, it's one of those things where maybe they know more than we do on that front.
But as a Saints fan, if I said to you, you brought in Lee Kalia.
Yeah.
So say instead of TDK, you could have Lee Kalia and Zach Butters or TDK.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a choice. I think we could easily, maybe not Butters, but I think we will definitely look at Lee Kalia with the option, with the inclusion of a TDK and possibly a Bergman. I think that's well documented. I think we can get all 3 if we play our cards right. Yeah. But yeah, obviously midfield and a tall back is important. But again, Isaac Keeler might do some crazy things in the next 10 weeks and we'd be like, oh, maybe we don't need Lee Kalia. You know what I mean? It's funny how things work. So expose him and see what happens. Yep. Terry's getting bored of the Saints talk.
No, I mean, when we talk about Carlton. I'm going to do this very quickly because I'm looking at the Carlton team and it's fucking disgusting. Honestly, like Hewitt's probably been the most improved by default from last year. Like, Cooper Lord's come on a little bit, but he's honestly had only a couple of good games. He's a young kid. Yep. So Hewitt, most improved. Jack Silvani for vibes. And I am very much ready, willing, and able to let go of a contract like a Zach Williams one. Love Zach Williams, but I just don't think I can rely on his body to be available for 20-plus games year after year. And I think we're playing him in a position that he's not his natural position. It's just like we're just putting him in the forward line now because we need someone there that's got some sort of creativity. He's a halfback that we brought in to hopefully play midfield. That didn't work. So now he's a forward, and yeah, that's what I would do. Pommy?
Sorry. I was just going to ask just quickly, with Jack Silvani, he's out of contract, right? So he's an unrestricted free agent. Are you guys going to offer, and had such a good year so far, you guys going to offer him, a little bit more to keep him around as well?
I would say 2 to 3 year deal, personally.
Yeah. Was that what you would have said like last year, like towards the end of last year? Or because he's come on as that really good backman, now he's got that new lease on life?
Yeah, no, the way he plays as a defender was one of the big holes going into the season. Like one of the questions was, who's going to be the number 2 to Jacob Wiedering's number 1? Yep. And it's so clearly Jack Silvani. Like, I'm not just being Carlton biased. Like, it's clearly
I agree. Yeah. I'd take him at the Pies if given the chance. I'd fucking towel him up.
100%. We'd take him.
100% I would towel him up.
Yeah. So that's the Carlton story. But gee, I'd love to get rid of 10 of these guys that I'm looking at. They make me sick at the moment. Oh,
would you get rid of a Mackay or Curnow just quickly? Or I know probably not Curnow, more Mackay if anyone.
It depends. It depends.
What's his contract at the moment? Like, what's he?
2030.
What's the situation? 2030. Oh, he's got one of the big ones, does he?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Would you trade him? Would you give him to West Coast for Harley Reid?
Yep.
That's a no-brainer, right?
So, who did you have?
Would you give up Charlie for Harley Reid?
No.
You wouldn't give up Charlie. Okay.
Mr. Crowman.
It's become fucking Carlton show. Anyway, fuck that mob.
I'm trying to move it away. I was trying to get handle Carlton out of this, mate.
I'm bullying you. I'm just having fun. Okay. Keep around for vibes. You can't look past for free time. Free time. Walsh, Clubman of the Year, Riley O'Brien. Obviously, the players, the fans love him. So even though I don't think he's best 22 long term, got to keep him around. There's a reason he's voted.
Because he knows so much about the Popes as well.
Pardon?
He knows so much about the Popes as well. He's got good Pope knowledge.
And he got like 3 degrees from memory.
Has he?
I'm pretty sure he's the most educated footballer in the AFL. He's got like 3 degrees. He's studying for a 4th.
Wow, good on him.
Unreal.
Most improved, Jake Saligo. I think Jake Saligo.
Yes. Yeah.
Kane Corns. But the King made that comment. If Sam Walsh is in your top 30 runners, you've got a problem. I think Saliga's one of them players that's definitely in that top 32-way runners. He's been sensational. Trade away Rory Laird. I think it's time that you go for Young. And dream acquisition for Adelaide. I would say dream acquisition is Jake's boy, Nasir Wanganeen-Mawara. I think if you could slot him across halfback, replace Rory Laird, you've got someone stronger defensively, a stronger midfield rotation, and I'd say they'd be close to unstoppable, Adelaide, from that slingshot point of view. Or Rowan Marshall, upgrade and mobile version of Riley O'Brien. Be interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Naz,
bit of Pom research there.
That's gonna be a big one, Naz, at the end of the year, isn't it?
Well, I'm hoping it's not going to be a big one at the end of the year. I'm hoping it's sorted before then, mate.
Do you think he'll sign soon? Is he one of those? I don't know what his contracts look like usually.
Or
is
I'm not sure, but
contract is it? Like,
he signed a 2-year deal a couple of years back, I think, 23 or something like that. Yeah, Winhager hasn't signed either, so we want to lock down that young nucleus as much as we can. I think Filippo hasn't signed.
No one's talking about there.
Yeah,
who's an unrestricted free agent because of your weird contracts, who I think will attract interest on the open market, and his agent is currently putting him in the papers, giving the stories. No, Liam Stocker.
Well, Liam Stocker won't go anywhere. We'll give him a one.
His agents put him in the press quite a bit. You're looking for a lockdown. They're hard to find in the draft.
He's in our... Well, I mean, if he wasn't injured, he'd be playing every week. I think we'll offer him a 1-year deal, rolling 1-year deal, to be honest.
I can see the Maggies coming in, insurance policy for Maynard.
Could you imagine I'd have
Yes.
to fucking delete some tweets.
I don't think you'll go anyway.
Oh my goodness, you've just unlocked a whole memory
Oh,
bank.
no.
But the
That's why
Soccer
Carlton-
Chronicles.
That's why Carlton fans hate me, because it was, again, an out of context thing. But yeah, I said what I said. So yeah. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, that's hilarious. The Chronicles of Liam Stocker and Swoop Luke.
Oh, fuck.
Pommy.
Pommy.
Welcome, here we are, new show, new time. I'm not sick and I've got time on my hands so I can fuck about making stupid game shows for you people in the lovely studio audience. And obviously, we have the mid-season draft tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be live with the very eloquent Dylan Alexander. We will be covering this together, but it got me thinking. The mid-season draft it's a complex beast, is the old mid-season draft, and it is a mid-season draft where it's a very low percentage of picking a player. We've all had picks, all the clubs. We can probably all name them, but the cold hard facts of the mid-season draft is, in recent times, it hasn't been successful. We've had some success stories, but across all the picks since its reincarnation in the 21st century, players picked average 7.8 games.
Really?
So not very good. However, my beautiful studio audience and my beautiful panel, we are going to find the top 6 current listed AFL mid-season draftees who are all around the AFL at the minute. So I'll go from top to bottom. I'll start with you, Swoop. Can you have a wee gander about who is maybe on this board?
Oh,
MSD, most games played.
John Noble, 100%.
Johnny
Show me
Noble.
John Noble.
He is leading this, currently not out on 122 games, one of 2 players featured in this list that have traded to other clubs.
Oh, there you go.
Am I next?
Yep, Terry.
Is Jai Newcomb on this list?
Indeed, he is. Completely screwed that. Jai Newcomb, number 2. Obviously, of the dodgy draft, this as well. One of the most successful drafts was this because of the COVID year. And Jai Newcomb played next to no football before he was top 20 pick provisionally before that. So Hawthorn did their homework.
Yeah, I remember this one. I remember this one going through, and it was a bit cheeky, wasn't it, Pom? This Newcomb one.
It was indeed. So the VFL at Hawks, Box Hill, they got him in, but this guy was heavily talked about in the top 20 of players the year before COVID. He was one to watch. Put on a lot of size he did in his off season. In that COVID year, did a lot of work on his fitness. So obviously they didn't cheat, but they played the game better than most.
Yeah. Damn.
87 games though, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, huge. Jack?
Well, those were the 2 that I was going to go with, but I think maybe I'm trying to think of how many games he's played, but Cooper Sharman might be potentially.
Well, you've helped me out from my balls up because I can confirm Jake wasn't looking. But Cooper Sharman, 58 games was Cooper Sharman, a mid-season draftee. Currently playing as well at St Kilda, leading the line.
Oh, is this table for people who are currently playing?
Yes, there is some players we've evicted from here. Players like Will Schnelling, has been evicted. Marleon Pickett, who is the second most ever played with 98.
Wow, yeah.
He's not on the list. He's currently playing for my local team, Mountain Football Club, just down behind my back door, behind me.
Yeah,
You'll see
there
him
you
play.
go. What about is D'Ambrosio on the list?
D'Ambrosio just misses this list. He is 7th. But you are looking for a player that has traded recently.
Yeah.
There's one more on the list. I'll give you some clues. We have an Essendon player. We have an Adelaide player on here. And we have a player that hasn't played for an eternity, but he's still on a list at the Western Bulldogs.
Ooh.
Bulldogs.
If anyone's got a name, jump in because my
Did you say
I'll let
Adelaide?
you I'll throw it out.
Did you say Adelaide?
Yes, Adelaide is one of the teams.
Peatling?
James Peatling is on this list. I believe he's there. Let me just do it.
Who's your mid-season draft pick at the
55 games at Adelaide Football Club.
Shit. Wait, who am I thinking of? Is Peeling the one that came from the Giants, or am I making that up?
He went to the. Oh, he left the Giants for
I
Adelaide.
didn't even know he was. Nick Martin is the Essendon player.
So
Nah, I think
let's have a look.
the Essendon player is can I say it?
Sammy Durham.
Sam Durham. Yeah.
So Sam Durham is on there.
There you go.
Okay.
And you're looking for one more.
So the Bulldog, apparently.
Been traded. Hasn't played. Not Waitman. No, he was drafted there.
Remember as well, Nick Martin isn't on the list because he is an SSP.
Yeah,
recruit.
someone just said that. Yeah, damn, I thought he was. So they're shouting out Poulter, but Poulter was drafted by the Pies, so it's not him. But from the Doggies,
This is one of them ones that will blag your head.
oh my god! And you're saying he hasn't played in a while?
Shocked, but he hasn't played since 2023.
Jesus, and D'Ambrosio is still behind him on this list.
He played a lot in his first couple of years.
Chat's saying Gardner.
Yes,
Ryan
Ryan
Gardner.
Oh, interesting.
He's just holding off D'Ambrosio by one game. But then after that, there's some stalwarts here. You've got Jed McIntyre, Jai Menzies, Ryan Marich, Jordan Boyd, all just coming up past the 40 points, but the 40 picks. Obviously, Poulter disregarded because he was delisted and then re-picked up. But Caleb Poulter was playing along at home. If we were going to keep him as a real player, wouldn't feature on the list because it's 29 times he's represented two clubs. So he's still not in the top 6.
Far out. I had to Google who Gardner was, to be honest. I've never seen this guy before in my whole entire life. So
it's fascinating, though, isn't it? But people forget. People often bill this as the best draft, as a kind of a draft of getting excited and this guy's going to change our lives. But unfortunately, it's you can say we've had a few mid-season drafts and only 6 over 50 games.
Which is wild because Essendon have got, 4 picks tomorrow?
Yeah.
In the draft? And they, far out.
I'm surprised we didn't open up a spot, to be honest. Like, we've had success. We got Sharman. Max Hall's another one that's been really good. I'm surprised we didn't try and maneuver something there, put someone on a long-term injury, but
Good one,
Crazy,
Pommy.
isn't it?
Oh, very good.
I like the graphic as well. I like the use of the pixel font, the pixelated
Yeah,
font.
and the music, the intro music was next level.
Hey, look, we aim to please. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're all about here at PommyinOz HQ. We like to help you out.
Also, just as we've sort of, before we get into this, do you want to hear the TLDR of the Pierce decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So it was a real. You can go onto Zeta's thing and read it. It's long, but the TLDR sent in by the lovely Timothy says that. So TLDR. So when all of the vision was closely examined and the evidence of Pierce was taken into account, it was clear that A, he intended to mark the ball. B, he was a realistic chance to mark the ball. C, his eyes never left the ball until it was too late. D, he did what he could at the last minute to minimize impact to the oncoming player. And E, this was not in fact a bump. So it was constituted as a marking contest as opposed to a bump. And that's what
Was he
that's
realistic? The only thing I question is, was he actually realistically a chance to mark it? I have to rewatch it, but I didn't think he was for memory. But maybe I'm just way off.
I think he was.
Well, he was? Okay.
From memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not suggested that Pierce's method of attempting the mark was itself inherently dangerous. And where it was not suggested Pierce's eyes, yeah. So it was just because of the marking contest.
Well, Burne-Jones was running with the flight of the ball. So it does put Pierce in a weird position because, the guy's coming to him in an unnatural way. I mean, not every player runs with the flight of the ball for a mark, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
So I think it's a good result for what we've been kind of arguing about.
Yeah, it does set a precedent though as well. But it is, like you said, Terry, it is pretty rare that a collision like that would happen with someone flying back, someone sort of coming up. So it is a one in whatever it is chance. Also, just quickly, the Jai Newcomb thing. Did you guys see that? The suplex, $10,000 fine. No.
Oh yes, yeah. Someone sent me that. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
See if you can get that up, Terry. Suplex Joe Berry didn't get concussed. And I'm not saying this because we play the Hawks this week. I'm saying it because it's a bloody dangerous tackle. And
surely if something's
Berry didn't get concussed. Again, action outcome. You know.
All right, so he's got him there. Pin the
come on, man.
That's a week. If anything's worth more than a $5,000 fine, that's a week.
Yeah.
What? Imagine not suspending him for a granny, but they fine him $50,000. It just doesn't make any sense. That's a week. That's a week.
I want to see a slow-mo. It doesn't really have
one. The AFL was didn't do it. Yeah, but that's... Oh, Terry, if you go into the
the toolbar thing.
Down the bottom right, the setting cog, you can do it in 0.5. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Let's go. Super slow-mo. Let's go.
Brisbane.
Brisbane. Cool.
So, bang. Too high anyway. Pins the arms.
Okay, I'm going to make an argument here. I think Berry moves to his right a little bit more to enunciate that a little bit.
All right, go back. Yep. Okay, so he handballed.
There.
Oh, you reckon he's pulling his weight?
Newcomb's right arm is not he's let go.
Is that what helps him? That he's not holding him and he's just sort of pulled him back?
Yeah,
that's the
I
only
reckon
thing I can think of.
If he had him held like that and he's I don't know.
So keep playing it.
Oof.
I think it's just a inherently dangerous action.
Dangerous.
See, to me, that's what should be stamped out. The action.
Yeah.
Like the way he tackled him.
The outcome. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And they're teetering on the edge there because finding him $10,000 for a tackle.
Jesus Christ, I know.
Like, when was the last time someone was fined 10 grand for a tackle?
Yeah, for a tackle. Yeah, you may as well just give him at least a week.
Like, that's
$10,000.
like. Also, with the Pierce one, why even give him 3 weeks in the first place without assessing it? What's the point? Shouldn't they just know he gets off straight away? I don't understand the whole
grading, the matrix, high contact, severe impact. I think it was one of those, and then he had the right to appeal.
Yeah,
I wish the grading was a bit clearer. I think that's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, everyone's favorite time of the night.
Yeah, lock of the week, which I went back on my word from last week because Ross wanted to have a bubble before the game.
You can lock us this week.
I forgot that it's a bye week.
I don't see any major. Keep scrolling. What are the other games?
Yeah, I don't see a major upset here. Sydney's not favourite.
Giants should pound Richmond. Jesus, Geelong are going to put up peak Geelong Melbourne scores against West Coast, you'd think.
Yeah, that's 30, 35 goals to 6 written all over it. I mean, maybe Freo could upset the Suns, but
this has
even
200
even that. You reckon?
Yeah. Well, Essendon have got no defenders. They've got no tools at all. But Mackay's out as well. They've got to probably play all of their 4 mid-season draft picks.
Collingwood Hawks.
Collingwood lock.
Yeah, lock us in. I think, is it weird to say that Richmond could give the Giants a run for their money? Do they get any of their players back this week?
Swoop wants to lock Richmond against the Giants after the Giants just spanked Blues, just to really rub the salt in.
You know it would make sense.
Carlton, so
it would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it, lock it in. Lock him in. Richmond.
Oh, he wants Richmond. I think this.
Commy, have you got one this week? Something random?
I'm just trying to think. Tipping against the grain. I'd give St Kilda a prayer if that wasn't in Alice Springs. I just think it's too much with it being in Alice Springs. Eagles, they've lost Waterman, so they're not kicking more than 30 points. Essendon, 4 mid-season draftees. Imagine that story. Yeah, I can't see it. The only one, there's only 2, isn't there, really, that you could even say? Well, 3.
Yeah.
There's no way
he's locking in Adelaide to beat the Swans, even though it's $1.70 a good lock.
I like the Swannies, I think.
Because of the SCG thing?
Maybe, yeah.
Probably helps them a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the Crows were pretty average against the Eagles up until the last 40 minutes of the game when they kind of just took them to the cleaners. But then this Swans got
Swans
smacked.
were also pretty average.
Yeah. I still probably tip the Crows. I think their firepower will do enough. I mean, Fremantle over the Suns. I mean, the Suns are favourites. I wouldn't surprise me if Freo went there and got it done.
It would be the most Fremantle
thing, yeah.
I mean, they just smashed the Giants. They belted the Giants away, so they don't see any issues travelling there.
And they keep Pierce as well, which helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot against the Suns, especially.
I think the Crows should smash the Swans. Well, maybe not smash, but the Crows should.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. Who would tip the Suns?
Yeah, I'll tip the Suns.
Yeah.
I think so. Me too. All right. Suns top 4. And then who would tip Adelaide?
Me.
Yep.
Okay. What about the week after, boys? Dear.
Who you got the week? That's okay. That's when you start.
We'll just worry about that when we get there.
No, we're not going to. We won't turn this into a Carlton chat. It's all good.
No, let's not. I can't stand
Yeah.
Carlton. I'm ready to. I'm
You
ready to break up.
Terry, I've
I
got
wanna
a lot of Collingwood jerseys for you if you want. You going to the game on Friday night? I feel like you're going to come watch us.
You know, I'm actually a chance to go on Friday night. Yeah, I am.
I'll give you a jersey. I'll give you a jersey to wear.
Me in a
Who's
Collingwood
going-
jersey. Wow, that would be.
Who's going on Saturday night to the big game? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, man.
Are you going?
I'll see you there.
You'll go,
man.
aren't you? Yeah.
Wait, which game?
A-League Granny, baby. Victory
I thought they
City.
had the granny.
No, that was the
That was
prelims.
the girls championship.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I actually might be going to that. If I've got,
I might see 2 Melbourne Victory premierships in the flesh before the St Kilda one.
Yeah, far out. Hey, at least
not
get something
great.
to cheer about, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
I fucking hate footy.
Oh, I love it, boys. I love it. I love the footy.
God, I hope we can clip this so bad in like 7 weeks' time. God. I hope at least we belt you at Marvel. We just have one good game in 5 weeks.
Oh, the
That's
old
not far
Farnborough
away.
game.
Marvel Saturday night, baby. That'll be fun.
Wasn't there a clip
May
of some
comes back,
Collingwood fan?
Maynard comes back.
Wasn't there a clip of some Collingwood fan saying you don't win flags in April or something? Doesn't that apply here?
Yeah, probably. Probably, but we're 9-2. 9-2 could go 10-2. We've got the best percentage in the league. All games at the MCG coming up. Ooh, mate.
Suns have got
Good one,
two.
good
Well,
one.
the Suns have got a game in hand though, don't they? So their percentage will probably be
Yeah.
better than yours at that point.
They'll and they got Essendon towards the end of the year. So
Yeah.
Oh, one more question before we go. Who's your flag tip if you had to pick right now?
Brisbane.
wow, what the fuck?
Who'd you
No,
say,
I
Pommy?
probably-
What?
Who said? Wait, who said that? Who said?
I said
what?
I said Brisbane.
Heck.
I said Brisbane.
Right.
They'd be my flag tip right now because they're cruising and they're almost level with the Pies on points, and they're nowhere near it.
I'm saying Pies, obviously.
I think it's the whole case of one team is peaking now and the other team's just.
I don't even
building.
think if you think we're peaking, whew, we are nowhere near peaking, mate. I've seen Ducks more peaking than
Mate,
Giants
have you
restaurant.
watched it? Have you watched us, mate? Come on, mate. Let's go get a coffee, mate. Yeah.
We are peaking.
We're not
nowhere-
peaking, mate.
We're not peaking, are we, buddy? We're not peaking, huh? We're not peaking.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you on Brisbane.
Yeah, they're just under the radar.
They're a good team.
Hmm.
They're a good team.
Pommy.
I think the only team that can beat Collingwood is the team that's already beaten them, Geelong.
Interesting.
They're under the radar. They're going on, and they've got a really easy run home as well. They've got a
Yeah.
really good fixture coming up.
Yeah, they'll get-
Smokey's dogs, because Darcy comes back in the furnace. I think that'll make him hard to beat. But
Is he back before? I thought he was out for the year.
Nah, he'll be back.
Nah, he's
before
coming back.
finals.
That's MCL, wasn't it?
Lock it in.
It was the pretend CL.
Yeah.
You know, the pretend
He'll come back.
CL.
He'll be back in 3 weeks' time when we play them.
Yeah, it's because on today's injury report it says 1 to 4 weeks, but they're anticipating round 16. So I think round 16. I think they'll rest him. That run home. But I've got a feeling it's Cats Pies final. The battle of
reckon?
the weird shaped stripes.
Oh, we play them in round 14. That's okay. Cool. Makes a big difference.
Gonna be good.
No doubt Ross will cry. Well, he'll find a reason to hate the Pies.
All right, here's another question. Who's going to finish 9th on the ladder? I got Fremantle just finished. I had them top 4 at the start of the year, but I got them finishing just out of the 8. I got them 9th.
Carlton.
Ooh, that's a good. I'm going to say Melbourne.
Ooh, Melbourne's
I think Melbourne are an interesting one. Yeah, they've won 5 of their last 6, I think, and favourites to beat us. They could very well be in the 8 by the end of next week. Whether they can sustain it, I'm not sure, but they're surprising me. They're looking all right. I think Melbourne can do a job.
Essendon will play Gold Coast on the Tuesday, and then they'll have to play Carlton 5 days later on the Saturday. We'll need to beat them to make the 8, and we'll lose.
You think you'll be in the make the 8 conversation in round 24?
Well, they should. Okay. Carlton should win their next 4. That's,
You think? I don't even know what the fixture is, to be honest.
Essendon, North, West Coast, and
Port.
That might be the cheeky one. That might be a classic Port. But
a lot of
Essendon's
there.
Essendon's a 50-50 at this point. Surely. You just said you had to eat humble pie 30 minutes ago, and now you're saying those games are a given? Jeez.
Who, me?
No, these two.
What?
Me? I just said we're going to lose.
I haven't put us near the 8.
I literally just said we'll lose.
I know. Relax. I just needed a little fire there to end the show, but that was awesome.
Giants. I'll have Giants 9th. I think they...
Giants?
Just enough.
They're really the fraud. They're your proper frauds, aren't they?
Well, I mean, what? Beating Carlton. Well done. Join the other 3 teams that have done it in the last 5. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Let's be honest. Sydney beat us, and everyone's saying that they need to sack Dean Cox, so that's where they are.
Yeah. Is any coach going to get sacked this year?
Ooh,
do you think?
That's a good question. I don't
think it's going to happen. I don't think Ken's going to go anywhere. Dean Cox, it's his first year. He's got to learn the ropes. It's not going to happen. I don't think Voss. Yeah. Voss is not getting sacked. I don't think anyone's getting. This might be the first year ever.
Before the season ends, get sacked.
Yeah, before finals, does anyone get sacked?
Nah,
I don't think so.
Let's revisit this conversation in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, done.
Sounds good.
Put a stick in it. Put a fork in it.
All right, mate. Love you.
If Carlton lose any of the next 3, and more so 2 of the next 3, then Yep.
Yeah.
Do you really think so?
If we lose to like Essendon and North, or Essendon and West Coast, or West Coast and North,
someone will burn Princess Park down. 100%.
Like, I don't know if he can survive that personally.
I genuinely don't think they have the cojones to do it in year.
I kind of on that. I reckon you could lose to Bombers and North, and I don't think anyone's getting sacked.
It's a lot of venom. That's a lot of venom.
Genuinely, I reckon there is someone naive out there thinking if you look at the next 3, we're 7-7, and potentially when you look at the next 3, we could be joined by teams like Fremantle, Melbourne. If the Doggies have a implosion, they could be like 8-6. And I reckon Carlton fans, board, media will sell it as some kind of resurgence. My prediction for Carlton, they probably do finish 10th, and someone manages to sell it to the masses that Nick Newman out is the whole reason Carlton finished 10th, and everyone will be like, "Oh yeah, you're right. They've got Mackay, they've got Kerner. Oh, TDK has gone to them, but we've got a top 10 pick."
Oh, we've got a new recruit pretty much because Jagger didn't play this year. Hey.
And that's how the cycle will be. That's how the cycle will be. So Carlton have no one on that board has got the cojones to do the right thing and sack him now. Because anyone with half a brain would look at all the data, look at the way they're playing, and go, there is no chance in hell, even if they sneak into the 8, they do any damage. Any damage.
Oh,
So if
Well,
they
at
were
least you guys
serious-
can't be. At least you guys can't be sad this week. You get
Oof.
a week off.
Yeah, I'll just see them all playing fucking pool in bloody Gold Coast. I'll get in an email going, Pom, don't worry, open training after the bye. Come on down, bring a friend, $10 ticket.
you guys want to?
Do
You guys want to watch me wind up, Pommy?
Yeah, always.
Of course,
Look what
always.
just- Look what's just come out.
The
Sure.
bubbles.
Who is
The
that?
Jacob Wiedering bobblehead.
The Jacob Wiedering. Get it on the back.
Surely you're
Tell me
ordering
that's
that.
an old one. They haven't.
Bro, they've just posted it.
No.
It's for the Essendon game. Sorry. Collect it Sunday, 8th of June, MCG. Guys, I'm telling you, we might lose to Essendon. They did this 2023. We had the Charlie Curnow bobblehead. And that's a bad omen.
Wasn't it a bad omen earlier this year when you guys lost, but the day of? Oh, it was the Carlton game. It was the United. It was the petrol, right? You guys, they sent emails out about the petrol or something.
Yeah,
Like
Ampol got our back.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Good luck.
I just
Polly?
want to be serious. Honestly, all I ask for is just be a serious football.
Stop. Put that down. It's haunting.
No, just genuinely, like Carlton, if you're listening to me, just once, just have a little bit of respect for yourself. A little bit of respect for yourself. No one cares about marketing. No one cares about membership numbers. No one cares about your soppy little training centre. Real fans just want wins. We don't care about anything else. Just shut the fuck up and just go and train. Learn to kick a football. So all you've got to do. Don't want a shitty little plastic statue of some dickhead who doesn't care about me. I want 4 points, man. It's not that fucking hard. You know what I mean? Just shut up. Stop talking. Win football games. It's not that hard, man. Collingwood don't talk nonsense. Saints pick fights with people to create energy. You're fucking making plaster casts of fucking Muppets. Brilliant. Just grow up.
It's true. What a
Well
way
done,
to
Terry.
end
You got what you
been a-
wanted. Cheers, mate.
Good night, everyone.
See you next week.
Go Pies.